In both Marvel and DC cinema, a great origin story not only introduces audiences to a hero's powers, but also explores what truly makes them heroic. When done well, it resonates beyond the spectacle, turning a costumed figure into a relatable, inspirational figure. These beginnings can even set the tone for larger cinematic universes and define franchises such as the MCU timeline. Superhero 10 Spider-Man 2002. Sam Raimi's Spider-Man revolutionized superhero storytelling with its heartfelt and relatable origin tale. Peter Parker's transformation from an awkward teenager into a web-slinging hero felt both grounded and mythic. The film leaned into the emotional weight of Uncle Ben's death and the moral lesson. With great power comes great responsibility. With sincerity, giving the narrative an emotional punch that still holds up. Tobey Maguire's earnest performance helped portray Peter's inner conflict, guilt, and resolve in a way that resonated with audiences across generations. Raimi balanced superhero spectacle with intimate storytelling, making Peter's personal journey just as compelling as his battles with the Green Goblin. From the genetically modified spider-bite to his wrestling phase and eventual heroic turn, Spider-Man 2002 offered one of the most complete, compelling, and emotionally resonant origin stories in superhero cinema, one that remains a benchmark in the genre even today. 9. Superman, the movie, 1978, filled by his adoptive parents, his humility. 8. Batman Begins, 2005. Christopher Nolan's Batman Begins redefined Batman's origin with a gritty, psychological approach that restored the character's cinematic credibility. Rather than diving straight into action, the film deeply explores Bruce Wayne's trauma after witnessing his parents' murder, and his journey to find purpose. Christian Bale delivers a layered performance, showing a man grappling with fear, anger, and identity. Nolan and screenwriter David S. Goyer expand on Bruce's training with the League of Shadows, providing a philosophical framework behind his choice to become Batman. Gotham is depicted as a city plagued by corruption, giving Bruce a mission that goes beyond vengeance. The bat symbol, gadgets, and persona all evolve naturally, making his transformation feel earned. Batman Begins offers the most complete and emotionally mature take on Batman's origin, setting a new standard for superhero realism and paving the way for the modern era of comic book films. 7. Iron Man 2008. Iron Man launched the Marvel Cinematic Universe with a bold, character-driven origin story that felt both timely and timeless. Robert Downey Jr. reinvigorated his career in the superhero genre with his portrayal of Tony Stark, a brilliant, arrogant weapons manufacturer who undergoes a radical transformation after being kidnapped by terrorists. The film grounded its story in real-world issues, such as war profiteering and accountability, making Stark's arc from arms dealer to armored hero particularly compelling. Tony's escape using a homemade suit and his decision to shut down his weapons division showcased his evolving morality. Director Jon Favreau balanced humor, pathos, and high-tech action with sharp dialogue and emotional beats. Stark's origin wasn't about destiny, it was about choice and redemption, themes that resonated with audiences worldwide. The film's success proved that a well-crafted origin story could anchor a universe, not just a franchise. Stephen Strange's origin story combines spiritual discovery, personal failure, and mind-bending visual spectacle to forge one of the most compelling MCU transformations. When the arrogant neurosurgeon loses the use of his hands in a car accident, his desperation leads him on a journey of self-reinvention. The film leans heavily into mysticism and Eastern philosophy as Strange studies under the Ancient One, unlearning his ego and materialism. What sets Doctor Strange apart is how his transformation isn't just physical, it's metaphysical. The mirror dimension, astral projection, and reality warping visuals add layers of symbolism to his personal growth. In the end, Strange becomes a hero not by overpowering his enemy, but by outthinking Dormammu in one of the MCU's most memorable endings. His path from cynic to selfless protector resonates because it's a story of intellect, humility, and accepting the responsibility of knowledge. 3. The Crow, 1994. Few superhero origins are as hauntingly poetic as Eric Draven's in The Crow. After he and his fiancée are brutally murdered, Eric is resurrected by a mysterious crow to exact vengeance on those responsible. The film blends gothic horror with vigilante justice, creating a story that's as emotional as it is violent. What makes his origin so powerful is its tragic romanticism. Eric isn't just fighting crime, he's a spirit of wrath and sorrow driven by love lost. Set in a decaying, rain-soaked city, the film's mood mirrors his psychological torment. Brandon Lee's performance adds raw humanity, making Eric's transformation from victim to avenging angel deeply compelling. Unlike many origin stories centered on personal gain or discovery, Eric's is about closure and catharsis. His supernatural rebirth feels earned and mythic, helping The Crow stand apart as a cult classic with a uniquely mournful origin. 2. Ant-Man, 2015. Scott Lang's transformation into Ant-Man is one of the MCU's most grounded and comedic origin stories, but it's also surprisingly heartfelt. Unlike traditional superheroes, Scott starts as an ex-con and a father trying to rebuild his life. He's not looking for greatness, just redemption and a second chance. When he's recruited by Hank Pym to steal the Ant-Man suit, his story becomes a blend of heist movie antics and personal growth. Scott's motivations are relatable. He wants to be a good dad and do something right for once. The shrinking technology and insect telepathy give the film a fresh, playful edge, but it's the emotional beats, his relationship with his daughter Cassie and his evolving mentorship with Pym, that anchor the story. Ant-Man proves that a superhero doesn't have to be a god or genius. Sometimes, they're just an ordinary person given an extraordinary opportunity. 1. X-Men First Class 2011. X-Men First Class reboots the X-Men franchise by delivering origin stories with rich emotional and ideological depth, especially for Magneto, Professor X, and Beast. Eric Lensher's backstory, rooted in Holocaust trauma, frames his path as one of righteous fury and mistrust, making his transformation into Magneto tragically understandable. In contrast, Charles Xavier's privileged upbringing and academic idealism set him on a more hopeful course. Their friendship and eventual ideological split form the emotional core of the film. Meanwhile, Hank McCoy's internal conflict about his mutation and his accidental self-transformation into Beast adds another layer of complexity. These arcs are not only about powers, but identity, acceptance, and purpose. Set against the backdrop of the Cuban Missile Crisis, First Class uses real history to heighten its stakes. It's a superhero origin film that values character nuance over spectacle, elevating its ensemble to mythic status.